Well, hello there. This is Zach with Bayou Donkey. You like my hat? Those who know me know that I love my straw hats and hope to have some with my logo on it. How about that? So I wanted to take a second to share with you just a small fish story. This takes place back in probably the mid 90s, back when the Southern Kingfish tournaments were in hot demand, I guess. We were fishing on the eastern seaboard, and I think we were actually fishing out of the Larry Swicegood's boat called the Whistling Dixie. We always hear that on the radio. But I remember we were fishing out of I think it was St. Catherine's tournament, maybe. I can't remember. It was somewhere along there. And we came in, we fished all day, and our team, we had pretty good success, you know, but we've always fished hard. Got up early, fished really hard, prepared, you know, made all our hook rigs and everything. But I remember this one trip, we came into the weigh-in, and the weigh-in was always like at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and you had to always run and make sure you got there. And with the rules the way they were, you had to make it in under your own power. And, you know, we did that. But I remember we came into the dock, and I volunteered to take the fish up to the scales, and we'd pull into the docks, you know, and they'd wave us in and everything. We'd tie up, and then the person with the fish would jump out with the fish bag and take the fish or the fishes up to the scales to have them weighed in, and then we would park the boat. You know, if we landed there and everything, we'd park the boat and get out and go up and attend the weigh-in. And but I remember this time when they dropped me off at the dock, I noticed that there was like a big blotch of blood. Like someone was stepping. There was blood all the way, like in spots all the way down. It was, you know, a good bit of blood. And so I wondered what it was about, you know, and I walked on up to the scales and up the ramp and to the pavilion where the scale house was. But when I got up there, they told me the story about what had happened. And apparently the seas were rough that day, so, you know, it was probably 4-foot seas, 4 with some 5, 6s mixed in there probably. So what had happened on one of the boats was someone had caught a king mackerel. And those of you who know what a king mackerel is, it's a mackerel. They're a long fish, but they have teeth like you wouldn't imagine, and the teeth are all aligned, you know, and it's just like a giant set of shears. And so apparently someone had caught a boat had caught a king mackerel, and they gaffed it and brought it in the boat, but the fish fell off the gaff and then slid across the deck, and someone had flip-flops on, was barefooted or something, and the fish cut off like 3 or 4 of the toes. And so that blood on the dock was from whoever was bandaged up that was going to the emergency room. Apparently, probably with their toes too in a cup. Who knows? But that's just a reminder of how dangerous it is when you actually go fishing. Not only can you be hooked, finned, or have problems with your boat, or get tossed out of your boat, or your boat sink, for God help us. But so you can get hurt out there, so you have to always be careful and think about what you're doing, okay? And make sure you have, you know, your first aid kits. Make sure your safety devices are on the boat. Make sure you have communication devices, because once you get out past a mile or two, you know, your cell phones generally don't work. So make sure your VHF radio is working and you have ways to communicate. But anyway, that's just a fish story from the 90s, and just one of many. And so you guys, I hope you enjoyed the little story, and may God bless you guys, and I'll see you soon.